Hello, so before I dive into the actual training, I want to give you a quick intro. And I know you're busy, right? That's why I'm recording this video. I know you're someone who trains hard, works hard, and doesn't want their time wasted. So I promise I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it sharp and just straight to the point, right? But I want to start off with just telling you why it's really worth watching this video, right? Because I'm going to show you exactly why you're still dealing with pain and stiffness, even though you've tried physio, mobility drills, maybe strength training, literally you name it. And yet you're still waking up stiff, feeling tight after a good workout. Or you're simply just scared of lifting weight or running because your back may flare up again, right? But most importantly, how this is really affecting and bleeding into your life, whether it's work, whether it's training, whether it's spending time with your family and friends, you name it, right? And I know this might sound like another opinion that you find online, which is exactly why I'm also going to show you what this looks like in real life with real people, because this is not just a theory. This is real results from people who are exactly where you are right now. So at the end of this video, I'm going to show you some words from my clients, such as Scott, how he got his back pain and constant fear of moving to now being able to play golf with zero discomfort, zero pain, and most importantly, just being excited, about his training. I'm also going to share Kahina's story, which is so it's just pure inspiration to me, because we didn't just fix her shoulder and hip pain, but we completely transformed her life. Now she's able to actually do everything herself. Whenever she has a little flare up or something, because these happen, she knows exactly, she has the tools and the knowledge to know what she needs to do to fix it, right? She doesn't need me anymore. And yeah, also going to mention Alex, who came to me with so many issues, but now we're just hitting one PR after another. So yeah, these are the true stories, and I'm going to show you in this video the exact framework, the exact system that I use with them, and they pay me thousands for it, and I'm just giving it to you for free. So first things first, who am I and why should you even care? Why should you even watch this video, right? I'm Anya, and I help high-performing professionals just like you rebuild how they move so then you can finally live without pain, right? Whether it's pain, stiffness, or just fear of flare-ups. This is what I do. And that doesn't happen with generic workouts, Instagram or TikTok mobility routines, okay? This happens with a proven method that actually rewires your movement system. And I'm saying it as someone who's actually lived it. I dealt with back pain and hip pain that was terrifying and really took me out of training, made me feel really weak mentally, and made me question whether I'd ever get back to what I love doing. Pain was constantly on my mind, so I know where you're coming from. And the thing is, if you've tried all the right things, right, but the pain and stiffness still comes back, then I want to tell you one thing. Your body is not broken, but you've just never been shown how to actually retrain your movement system so you can regain control of your body and life, right? Because you can probably agree with me, but everyone is just focused on muscles, joints, tendons, improved mobility, range of motion, flexibility, stretching maybe, all these isolated areas, right? But no one actually teaches you how to understand your own body, how to spot what's going wrong, how to fix it yourself, and how to stop relying on someone else every time you have a flare-up. Okay, so what I will cover in this video, I'll show you 3 things that I see in every client that I work with that keep them stuck in chronic pain, in this chronic vicious cycle. And then I'll show you how to spot them in your own body and how to actually fix them using a system called the movement mastery method. At the end, I'll also show you some client proof, so you don't have to take my word on it, okay? And yeah, last but not least, one thing that I want to say before we start. If you're hoping for a quick fix, a list of stretches, a list of exercises that you can maybe do between your meetings, this is not for you. This video won't help you. But if you've tried it all and you're ready to actually solve it, then let's just get to it. So first of all, let me just introduce you to the concept of what works and what doesn't work. So you're probably still kind of stuck here, right? You've done it all. You've tried physiotherapy. You've tried chiropractic. You probably like to have a massage every now and then. I do as well, right? You've probably done all these cool stability exercises, or you try, I don't know, endurance, HIIT workout, kind of like some stretching, or you found the best back pain routine, right? You've done it all. You even found my own page, right? You went through all the videos, all the reels, maybe you followed certain exercises that I showed you, right? And yet you are still watching this video and you haven't really progressed from where you were, let's say a few months or years ago, right? Now, the real reason for it is you have been treating the symptom, right? Not the whole system. And by system, I mean your body, your life, your recovery, and everything around it, right? So far, you've been just focusing on isolated parts. So for example, you have tight hips and you get tight hip exercise, right? You go to a physiotherapist, like I did, with hip pain, right? And they just put you on they do obviously a few tests, a few screenings, you get your diagnosis. And then you put on a rehab program or prehab, you name it, right? And you follow it. You do a few exercises, and it's really important because these things also work. Like, I'm not saying here that, you shouldn't train at all, and just like sit at home, manifest it, and then you're going to be pain-free and finally mind-free, right? No. What I'm saying is when you're given isolated exercises, you only focusing on that 40 area, but without actually understanding what's the actual root of that problem. So you not being able to lift properly at the gym, for example, or running laps and etc. It's not because of your back pain, right? I would go a little bit deeper, see what's underneath it, right? If you isolate the particular area, so for example, okay, my back is stiff and it hurts. I am just going to focus on my back. And I'm not going to answer that question for you. You can literally ask yourself, where has it got me to, right? Okay, I have back pain. I've been trying to fix it. Where am I now, right? And that's probably why you're watching this video as well, because you're so tired. And I was so tired of, getting more and more exercises, solutions, fixes, and this and that. But I would always go back to square one. So you never really retrained how your body actually moves. Under load, under fatigue. So for example, when you're a little bit tired or under pressure, meaning you go to the gym, but you also stress at work. So you're just in this constant stress loop. You never actually learned, how am I supposed to function in these conditions, right? So just to summarize everything, you've done all of this and it doesn't work, right? You proved it to yourself. You did like a case study, a lab study on your own body, right? So now it's time to actually do something that really works, which is something probably you're not really used to, right? Because I myself would always look for quick fixes, exercises. Give me this is my problem, fix it. End of story, right? However, what you actually need in a situation like this, when you're constantly in this chronic pain, stiffness, when you feel like you don't have control over your own body, meaning you don't really have control over your own life, we need to do something differently. And let me tell you this, you don't need more drills, more exercises, but you need to rewire your whole system, right? Remember what I said in the beginning of this video. Your whole system is not just your body. Definitely not in isolated parts. It's not just your tight hips. It's not just your tight neck or back, right? Or your lower back flaring up when you're lifting. No, it's everything around it. It's how you sleep, how you recover, what's your daily habits, the bad habits and the good habits, right? So let me tell you what actually works, what I've been using on my own body, fixing my own issues back to, when was it? When I don't even remember, around like 10, 11 years ago, which I am currently using with my clients. And you've probably seen, they results all over my page. I'm going to also link a few of them at the end of this video. But anyway, to the point. The exact system that you need is actually way simpler than you think. And it's way simpler than just looking constantly for something new, a quick fix again and again and again and again and again, right? No. The first thing you need to do is to change your mindset. So I would probably add another layer under this little pyramid, to be honest. And first thing you have to do is to understand that if you've been doing the same thing again and again and again, it's time to do something differently, right? It's time to change your perspective on fixing your body fast, right? So the underlying layer of this pyramid is believing that it's not in quick fixes, it's not in actual physical things, but it's more in what's going on in your head. You need to understand that until you have full control of your body, full control of your life, you always depend on someone else. And even if you get to pain-free life of stiffness, you will always be stuck. Because if you take that external factor out of the equation, external factor is, for example, mobility drills on Instagram, or your massage therapist, or your physiotherapist, or your doctor, or something else, right? Something that is not you, something that is not internal. Then you will always be stuck. So yes, maybe you're going to get pain-free, but then you'll be back to square one because there'll be another issue that you don't really know how to deal with. And then you have to ask for another opinion, ask for another fix, right? So you're just stuck in this circle. This pyramid is showing you what you need to do to get full autonomy of your body and your life, right? Because I believe that only if you have all the tools and the knowledge that allows you to just control your life without these external factors, without external help, then you win. And then you finally pain-free and mind-free, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that seeking help, coaches, trainers, therapists, it's amazing. And please do it, okay? Because knowledge is gold. It's everything. But you should be able to walk away with such tools that will allow you to audit and control your body by yourself, okay? Then you'll be free, right? So anyway, I'll link back to, I go back to it later in this video, but let's just break this down, okay? So first things first, once we have that fundamental layer here, so changing your mindset a little bit, you need to understand how your body moves. Reconnect with your body. You know, that mind-muscle connection, right? I know it might sound a little bit like wishy-washy, what does it actually mean? But you just need to rebuild the foundation of your body, right? Meaning, do you know where you are in space? So the proprioception, fancy word, right? Do you know what happens when you lift your arms overhead? Do you know what happens when you squat, right? Then you need to understand where your pain points are coming from, right? Where the pain is actually coming from. Because sometimes we are so fixated over certain areas that you will wake up, You know, it's like with when you have these wearables like Fitbit, Whoop, whatever, you know, these what are they called? These fancy watches, you know? I used to have one as well, so nothing against it. But you know, when you track your sleep and you wake up, and before you even like ask yourself, have I slept well? Am I ready to just go train? Am I fully focused? Am I recovered? Right? Before you ask that yourself, you check the watch first. And if it tells you, yes, you did, you think, oh, yeah, I did, I'm feeling amazing. But if it tells you, no, you actually didn't, like I don't know, some sleep phases were actually quite off, you're automatically going to feel worse, right? So what I want you to do here, I'm actually going to go down into probably the breakdown of the whole pyramid straight away, you know. I want you to focus on your pain, but not to the extent when you can't feel anything else and you're just thinking about the pain, right? Think about, for example, movements that make you feel a little bit worse. Think about activities that make you feel better. Think about your daily habits. How do you move or how do you not move throughout the whole day? Okay. So once you have that understanding, so we're building that body awareness, right? We're going to start not even rewiring the 40 patterns, but we're going to be starting to understand where these 40 patterns are, right? We're bringing attention and awareness to compensations, for example, because as you become a little bit more aware of your body, you realize that your body doesn't actually move that well. And you'll see there's a lot of, you know, overcompensation here, some muscle imbalance there. So in this first period, let's say 1 to 2 months, you are trying to understand your body, right? And I can even show you, for example, from awareness mapping, the first, it's my client's training program. I'm going to show you like a few exercises, but please remember what I said in the beginning of this video. It's not about following, I don't know, generalized program or just adding a few exercises here and there to your program. No, it's changing everything here, right? But for example, I don't know, we have loaded control when we just, sorry, this is actually week 7. No, we have to go to the beginning. So let's say in week 2, we have posture and pelvis awareness, right? You're finding your neutral spine. You doing some shoulder bridges, right? Doing pelvic tilts. So you're gaining awareness of your pelvis, of your hips, right? Can I even move there, right? Then you're going into, for example, spinal control. Can you even understand how your spine moves in this like segmental way, right? Can you rotate through your spine and everything? We're using these exercises to help you get that awareness, not to fix you. These exercises don't fix you, okay? So going back to our little table here, so we've built that awareness. We know how to even focus on certain things that we, didn't know how to do before. And we're also improving what I just mentioned, the segmental control, right? Because it's really important that we just don't move as like one whole block. And yeah, we can squat, we can like jump, and then we can run, right? Like a brick. No, you need to learn how to isolate certain parts of your body and move them separately, right? So we're learning how to move each part of our body in the right way, right? So we're segmenting it. So we have that, right? It sounds super simple because trust me, like on paper, it is super simple, but it's your effort and the time that you have to put into it, because this is not something that you learn on an everyday basis. If you look up a lower back mobility, this and that, it'll give you lower back exercises. You ask me, fix my back pain. Well, obviously, please don't. But I would give you, this and this exercise, right? Which is incorrect, because you have to go back into that deeper layer, that foundation. Something so simple, but because it's so simple, we don't really think about it. We go straight into this, right? Can I zoom it in? Yeah, into the tip of the pyramid, right? Which is the fancy stuff like jumping, rotating, and doing, the strength training. But without this, what's the point of doing this? Right? This is where you have been stuck this whole time. Most people just go here, forget about phase 1 and phase 2, and are like stuck in this constant vicious cycle, okay? So please make sure, if you're making notes or anything, if you're copying this exact system, because trust me, it works every single time, make sure that you focus on this phase, all right? Always. Anyway, let's move to phase 2, maybe a little bit more fun, So we have that foundation, right? We have this foundation layer, which was changing the mindset. Now we have body awareness. We know where we are in space. We understand our pain points and everything. We're learning about our body a little bit more. And you understand that there's a lot of bad habits in your lifestyle. There's a lot of overcompensations. There's weaker and stronger muscles. Maybe your posture is quite bad. Maybe how you sit is wrong. You understanding, you've got this, right? You know where we stand. So now we're moving more into actually fixing it. Okay, so we have the awareness, and now, all right, I'm aware of, let's say my back is super tight because I don't have like rotation in my spine at all, right? So now we're adding a little bit more load. Think, with training with me, honestly, it depends. We can work with no bands, no weights whatsoever, but I do believe that it's always good to add a little bit of resistance, especially in this phase 2 and phase 3 that I'm going to talk about in a second. So we're adding a little bit of resistance, meaning bands, weight, like kettlebells, dumbbells, whatsoever, right? And we're taking everything that we learned in phase 1 and now load it. Okay, obviously we're changing, the exercises and stuff. Again, I can show you, but I don't like doing this because it kind of goes against what I'm trying to explain here, right? So not just following the exercises, but yeah, we have like single leg hip thrusts, we still activating deep core, but now we're standing on one leg and we pressing overhead, right? So we're adding a little bit of difficulty in these basic movements, right? Working on stability and balance, but we applying that force, right? Well, still focusing on the form, still focusing on the foundational aspect. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to like read it out loud, I guess. We train rotation, balance, anti-rotation, anti-extension as well, I should add it here. And now we integrate in limbs as well, right? So again, we're throwing your body a little bit off balance. So we're not just working and you think like a squat position, a plank position, right? We're doing a little bit more dynamic and rotational movements, alrighty? So, at the end of, I would say 4 or 5 months, you really want to be able to add a little bit of difficulty to your training, right? Without losing that fundamental importance of keeping your body as one stable system. So at the end of this phase, I really want you to feel like you are gaining the control back. Okay, like now you're doing a little bit more difficult movements, right? You're training a little bit more and you can control it. You're not just like, oh, I'm following a plan, but I'm still seeing no result and I'm just like sticking to it. No, because maybe it's something that I should have mentioned earlier. This training is to not compensate, to complement your daily routine, right? So I don't want you to rely on it forever, right? I want you to keep doing what you've been doing this whole time. So whether you, I don't know, you're a runner, you're training at the gym, you like to play golf, maybe tennis, whatever that would be, you learning through this process, so the exercise that I just showed you, which is like 10% maybe, through my education and the mindset shifting, you are learning how to be better at your everyday life. Because my purpose, especially in this phase, the purpose isn't to be great at single leg hip thrusts. Like, who needs this, Definitely not us, not in this realm, let's say, right? You want to feel better. You want to gain the control back of your body in your life, right? So I want you to use this as something that will make your external, so the life outside of this training, better. Alrighty? And now, on top of this, we have the fun phase, right? Which doesn't mean fancy exercises, right? Maybe we do a little bit more dynamic movements. So we do single leg, what they called single leg deadlifts, with rotation. We're doing peel-offs with, in lunge position with heel raise and everything. But again, it's not about exercises. In the last phase, right? By the way, this is all how I build my movement mastery method. So if you ever feel like, oh, this sounds like me, I need this, please DM me on Instagram, literally anything, or Triple M, and I'm going to reach out to you and we can see whether this will actually work for you. Okay? So yeah, just saying, if you feel like it, please do message. Anyway, so last phase, so the last few months of working in movement mastery, we focus on giving you full autonomy, right? So throughout the first phase, or whether you, for example, I don't know, decided to structure your training plan yourself, right? Focusing on the foundation, loading the foundation, but then you want to learn how to not follow anything else. So again, I'm linking it to what I said in the beginning of this video. You want to have full autonomy. You don't want to rely on me, right? You don't want to rely on a program, on Instagram, physio, whatsoever. Literally, I say to every single person that I work with, at the end of this program, I want you to say, hi, Anya, I don't need you anymore. Okay? Because only then, when you have full control of your body, you know exactly what you're doing wrong and you know exactly what you're doing well, and you should keep doing it. This is where you are in control. This is the win that we want, okay? Because then you're starting to apply these rules and objectives, right? Which is always, being able to control your own body. You apply it to your life. And then you're just invincible, right? So in the last phase, I am teaching you how to take lessons from this phase and that phase. And for example, be able to completely build a plan for yourself, right? Make sure that, for example, if you try something new, right, you wanna just like be free, and your friends come to you and they're like, oh, let's play, I don't know, some sort of tennis, and you've never played before. You are not worried about hurting yourself, or you're not worried about like, oh my God, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be like broken in 2 parts, right? No, you want to feel like you can do whatever you want because you know exactly what to do when you feel good, when you have a little flare up. Because I'm not saying that, people like myself, for example, never have any flare ups or pains. Of course we do. And pain is normal, like you can think about it as literally your life, I know I'm making a lot of comparisons like your own body to life because it's true, I want you to learn how to control your body so you know how to control your life. All right. So at the end of this structure, you have to make sure that you've built a very capable body, very strong, not in just muscles and tendons and joints and everything. No, more so mentally and physically, that holds up in real life and doesn't break down when some obstacle comes up. Okay, you know how to overcome it. So we literally bridging the gap between training, performance, and your life every single day of your life. I want you to be in control in your body. And I probably said control 10,000 times in this video because that's what I want you to get out of it. Okay? It's simply about control, not relying on external things, external factors at all. Anyway, enough of the little education. I hope you this is really useful, and honestly, this is what I use with my clients, with myself, to get them to the results that you will see right here. So We have a few, I think I listed like 3 clients here. Yeah, so first of all, you can see all these testimonials, these videos on my YouTube, just Anya Moves. I'm going to link them in the bio, so if you want to hear from them, from Alex, Kahina, and Scott, you just click the link and yeah, you can listen to what they've got to say, because one thing that I want to say as well, I hope that you don't really trust me on this one. Okay? Please don't. Don't just take my word for it and go with it. No. I want you to, because that would be quite weird, right? Like at the end of the day, I know you might be quite hesitant about like how does it work online and you know, like it's fine. It's fine. Please listen. Please watch it. This is the proof. You know, this is not me saying about, oh, how great this structure is, but it's the people that I work with. Okay. Anyway, so I'm just going to give you a few quick examples. You know, I've been working with Scott for quite a while now. I think it's been 8-9 months, right? And we started with chronic back pain. He loves to play golf and he was constantly worried. It wasn't like, oh, I just want to get rid of my back pain. No, it was like, I am so scared to move, right? Please help me, right? So that's where we started. Now, you've probably seen his results as well all over my page. He's enjoying the challenge. Like, look, he's having zero pain. He's playing better. The best he has in years, right? If not ever. So most importantly, like even on top of this, it's you can see like it's just not about the pain. Like we're not focusing on like, oh, do you have back pain or do you not have back pain? No. Did you realize? Like the first thing he said was the back pain, right? Like I can't really, and some hip tightness as well. Like he can't swing and everything. And here we're not talking about like, oh, my back pain doesn't flare up anymore. No, we're talking about playing better. We're talking about feeling pumped about how everything is going and what's there to come, right? This is the transformation. Remember, it's not about getting pain free. It's about what it allows you to do, right? So yeah, if you want to hear more from Scott, please go into the description and have a look. Why I put Kahina's video on here is because her transformation was insane. We literally started with just like, yeah, some weak core, there was some pain in the hips and shoulder instability, so loads of pain as well, especially when she was carrying patients, right? And listen, we didn't just got pain free, you know, and really reduce the flare-ups of especially the shoulder pain, right? You have to watch this video because what she told me really changed how I even approach my own life, you know, because it's not even about, like I said, getting pain free, but she used these words. It's about being mind free, being so free and so in control of your body that whatever happens, she knows how to fix it. She knows how to approach it and she knows what to do. All right. So it was really, this transformation was like a transformation to my own life as well, you know? So yeah, please make sure that you listen. And last but not least, I also added Alex words because his journey has been really long, I would say, intense. And you can see here, we had so many issues like lower back pain, hip pain, something weird in the upper back. But most importantly, he's tried so many things before. I don't think I actually added it here, but he's tried so many specialists and he's a PT himself, you know, so he goes to the gym pretty much every single day, loves to train and loves the body, learning about the body and everything, right? But he just felt stuck. And I'm not even going to list these pain issues, right? Because now we know how it all works. I want you to have a look at this. Yes, we have some like low back here, but I can't really see back here. I can't really see back here. We're talking about PRs, right? We're talking about becoming better at the gym, becoming better at life, right? Here he's saying, I'm going to rest today. He knows when to rest. right? And when to push hard. He knows what to do when his back flares up, because it might, and it probably will, right? Because again, our bodies, they just work like that, right? But you see how he just knows how to implement this, where are we? This into every aspect of his life, right? He didn't mention like, oh, this exercise is good. No, maybe here, like standing tall thing, not even an exercise, right? Because I was literally teaching him how to stand tall every single part of your day, right? So I can give you a little tip, like when you sat down, when you're walking or whatever, always think that there's like a string pulling your head up, right? And this will change everything, you know? You'll see how you just like standing tall all the time. Little tip on the side, you know? But yeah, other than that, it's just like sprinting with zero pain, right? It felt better than usual. This is what we're here for. So again, in summary, please go watch how we transformed Alex's life, and we're still working together, and we just counting PRs, his running PRs, and also now he's started to teach other people as well, which is so excited, you know, so exciting. So yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. You know, I hope you find it super useful. Please rewatch this video as many times as you need. Use this structure, because it's just, this is all the proof. And if you need more, go to my Instagram. Everything is linked there. This is the proof of this, okay? This system, this 3-step system, is built for people like you who've tried everything. Even though you're active, you train, you know, you try to train hard, right? You do your favorite sport, whether it's golf, running, maybe just weightlifting, gym, whatever. And you've tried everything. You ask for help 10,000 times, and you're still stuck in the same constant vicious cycle. You wasted money, but most importantly, you wasted time. And we know as busy people, right? That time, is gold. Okay? So if you're done and tired of wasting your time and money, please stop doing this. Okay? This will work short term, but this will work forever. Okay? And this is why I want you to get out of this video. So yeah, once again, if you want me to have a little chat with you, see if I can do this for you, if this will really, you know, if we're the right fit, please message me on Instagram, DM me, MMM, or anything. I'll reach out to you and let's talk. Let's see where we can get together. So I hope you found this video super useful. Let me know what you think, maybe in the comments or in the DMs, and good luck. Keep my fingers crossed. Let's go.